Welcome everybody, welcome to the Tomb of Illumination. Everything's about the earth, how it works and its connection, its association with nature and the human body. And you can only understand and appreciate this if you understand the flat earth model. Because nothing associates with the globe earth. It only associates everything, nature, human, body, the brain, all associates with the flat earth design. An earlier video of mine, I mentioned the 8 phases of the moon cycle over the month, how it's mentioned quite a lot in ancient text, myths and legends. So I just thought I'd expand on that a little bit, and as it turns out it's going to be a little bit of a sex lesson, and blow me down, I just happen to have the shirt on today. I just jumped out of bed to put the rubbish out. It was the first shirt I found in the drawer to do with plumbing. I've got this on, and here I am giving you a little bit of a sex lesson here. So listen up on how the moon works. If you know, the moon's the mother, the sun is the father. When the Bible tells you love thy mother and thy father, they're not talking about your physical world down here. It's all celestial, spiritual and celestial. And celestial is the spiritual, that's heaven. Down here is the physical world, it's hell. Hellenistic, you've heard of that? Greek mythology, this is hell. That's heaven. So when it says love thy mother and thy father, you need to understand the whole zodiac system, the moon and the sun, what they do, how they're separated in our physical world. Sun, moon, and in between you've got the 5 wandering stars. We need to unite, come back to singularity. This is the dual system. The world we live in is a duality. We need to bring it all back to a singularity. And this is all about the divine awakening of man. So, what I've done is I've drawn the moon cycle over the month. And it's sort of like, you could call it a moon zodiac, but it needs to be placed over the zodiac sign. Somehow you need to understand this in relation with the zodiac sign. So you've got the zodiac sign for the sun, all the 12 zodiacs, and this moon cycle and how it moves around the flat earth, the zodiac. So this is what the moon does over, so imagine this is the whole of earth, right? And imagine this, the sun and moon go over the whole earth. You know, we've told in science it can only happen in the ecliptic plane, blah 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 blah. But we don't see reality. But just imagine you can, and you're seeing the thing move over the entire earth. This is the cycle it takes over 1 month. Right, so daily it goes like this, daily over 14 days, then back in again over 14 days. So the moon will spiral out away from the sun all the way up to full moon, and then it winds back in again. This is the bee's hive in ancient myths and legends and cultures, whatever. But on a monthly system, you know, it winds out and winds back in again. You get this cardioid look. So it comes back in, around the whole, catches the sun and stays with the sun for about 2.2 days before it comes out again. My earlier video started with all this stuff, so I'm just going over it again basically for you newbies. And this apple, cardioid, is forever moving. You know, it doesn't stay in the one place, it's forever moving. And it takes 19 years, a Sodonic period, for the moon to end up, you know, its positions to end up in the same place again. So it's slightly creeping, right? Yeah. Besides that, you've also got the tilting of the ecliptic plane. Up and that's over a year, down and out, up and in over a year. So, but we're not talking about that. We're just talking about the motion around the flat earth like this, even though it's tilting. So this is how you draw it. So as it comes back, moon's coming back in towards the sun at new moon, comes in here because this is a new moon. the sun would be there. So if we freeze framed everything, this is how it would look. The sun would be there, and the moon has come in at new moon in the light of the sun, because the sun shines that way across the hole, and the moon would be on the opposite side at new moon, bang on new moon. So it starts coming in. See, it comes in, sticks with the sun, because they're all moving in the same direction. Everything moves in the same direction. Don't believe any of this bullshit globe stuff, okay? There's only one central vortex that projects the whole realm, and it's just turning in one direction only. So the moon's come in, it's wandering around here with the sun before it comes out again. So it's lost in the light of the sun with the sun for 2.2 days. So we have look, these are the 8 phases. I've drawn the moons here, but we're talking about this phase. From there to there, from there to there, from there to there, there. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 times Mr. Tesla's numbers, the keys to the universe. That's 1 month, isn't it? But the sidereal month in respect to the moving stars is 27.314. They try to tell you it's 0.2 something, blah blah blah. That's what I get. That's when it comes around so far and gets lost for 2.2 days in here. Just check my video. Heard something strange. No, it's still going. So there's the new moon would be in here, and the sun is there, so obviously the Milky Way is here because the sun is tucked into the Milky Way. So the Milky Way will always be in this position. The Milky Way ends up in this position with the sun in it. Okay? But remember, the sun moves quicker than the moon as they start doing their cycles. But that's just a freeze frame at the new moon stage. So the sun laps the moon over 1 month. So that Milky Way is going to be chasing the moon. And it laps it. So the way I've drawn this, that would be full moon down here. Full moon. So, and these are always, because it's always changing, this is always moving around, and you know, over the zodiac sign, that moon could end up in any zodiac sign when all this aligns like this. So you're going to be wanting to look out for your moon sign. Now the moon sign is, I see it written in Wikipedia and everywhere else, that it's meaning when you are born, which is total bullshit, BS. They don't know. It's not. I shouldn't say bullshit, but they don't understand. It's conception. You have to know when you were conceived. That is your moon sign. Birth sign is the sun sign. You've come into the light of the world. You haven't come into the light of the world when you've got a, you know, when you're born in a dark place. So you're wanting to know what your moon sign is at your conception. You'll be wanting to look out for this. This is part of all the ceremonies in ancient cultures, the Mayans and all that, Aztecs, the Egyptians. You have all those ceremonies that represent many things. And it's basically to do with conception mainly, but there's plenty to it, plenty more to that. So you look at this picture and then you start thinking, well, you know, how does that work with nature? Now you look at it, you see the shape of this. There's the black hole. That's the whole of creation. So that's the woman's, that's the black hole of the female. Imagine the butt. That looks like a butt. And there's the lucky spot. That's the lucky spot where the sun is. Because the resonant frequencies come out of the black hole have illuminated the star that happened to be caught in the Milky Way. That's what it's all about. This is enlightenment. So it's to do with your moon sign and your star alignments, we don't know what they are. It's a bit tricky to find what they are. But your star alignments, working with your moon and the sun, it's a threesome there. Where am I going? Anyway, so all the frequencies in here come out of the black hole, create our whole realm. It's all about frequencies. People ask why the Milky Way, Aurora Borealis. Well, the frequencies are coming out, aren't they? Frequencies is light. So it's coming out of the black hole, hitting the atmosphere, our electromagnetic atmosphere, blah 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 blah, so on, proton, photon, blah blah blah. Anyway, so the resonant frequencies are coming out of here and illuminate the star and create a sun. Even science tells you the sun is a star. But this is creation, you see. But we are the created, so we are opposite. So what do? The man, the lucky man, stimulates that to get this working, to get that excited. Right? It's a G spot. Gee, I wonder why that Freemasons had that G stuck between the B. Some might think it's gravity. But certainly men would gravitate to that place anyway. Go there. So anyway, that's it, guys. There's Tesla's numbers. This is why they have 8. They have 8 cycles in the mythological stories, understanding that. Understanding the shape, this cardioid shape. It's in nature. How it's related to the human body, the female. The moon, look, the whole thing. The moon's the female and the sun is the male. Look, you've got the vortex, the female vortex, and what comes into the female vortex? The female vagina is the male entity comes in. It's the Milky Way. There's the old Charlie Brown. Charlie Red. Okay, because there's the male coming up through the centre here too. This is another image of it, see? This is a blown up image of creation. So you've got the female, the magnetic field coming down through the earth and crossing over, changing magnetic field, and up through the middle is the rising male. That's what's being created in here. This is the recycling system of the hydrogen molecule going up through the inert gases, changing states as they get ionized. That's what lightning and sprites are all about. Getting ionized, get right up to here, it gets purified to come into here, into the female, and then drip back down as pure water again into the Buford Gaia, and then it flows. The water flows underground around the tropical region, and then the energized hydrogen molecule comes up again and does the whole cycle again. This is the recycling of Earth. So they think you're going to ruin the Earth. You know, this man-made climate change rubbish. It's total BS. Everything gets purified. Everything gets drawn to here and dropped to the earth, into the desert areas. Gets filtered. The rest, it's just purifying the water. Everything's about water. And this is the thing about that train wreck in Ohio or somewhere in the States there, how they set fire to it. You've got to stop and think, well, maybe that was probably a good idea, because you don't want that shit seeping down into the waterways, the subterranean waterways. But if you can burn it and have it come up, it recycles itself. It gets flushed out. It's siphoned through the sand, the stuff that falls down here, and you're not affecting the water down here. And then, you got this whole system there. But anyway, yeah, you do damage the surrounding areas, that fallout initially. So they have contaminated the ground, and that'll be there for a while. But if the chemicals and all that just stayed there and seeped through the ground, then you'd be in a worse situation. That's the way I see it. Here's a depiction of what's quicker and what's not. Now, there's the sun. The sun moves quicker than the stars and the moon, okay? We know the moon's slower in relation to the stars. If I'm thinking about that right, but anyway, down here. The sun is quicker, so it moves ahead of the stars. And there's the moon, right? Because the moon does the spiraling stuff. The stars aren't quite doing, they're not doing what the moon's doing. The moon's doing a lateral shift as well as the circular movement, but the stars are just doing a cardioid like that over the night, like this over the night. The moon does that over a month. This is another association. They're all connected. So you've got the stars doing that over 24 hours. You've got the moon doing it over 1 month. You've got the sun lapping the stars over a year. The sun lapping the moon over a month. But anyway, let me try and explain this. Why the sun is quicker, how it works. Now, in this spinning ball model, it's the same. They say, they say the stars are quicker than the sun, which is rubbish. And they sort of stick with that with their ball, but you can think it works like that with the flat earth as well, but I'm going to explain how it's not. It doesn't work like that. The sun is quicker. So, drop back before the sun. So the stars drop back before the sun. Sun drops back before the sun. I don't know. In other words, the tail end gets lost in the light of the sun. So you imagine the cycle, you've got the cycle, let's say it's all black. It's all full of stars. But you've got a portion that comes around that's in daylight. Moving across the top of the stars, say. The sun approaches, the tail end gets lost in the light of the sun. So as the sun is moving this way, it's chewing up all these stars, losing all these stars in the light of the sun. It's chewing them up. But at the other end, 24 hours later, or behind, the sun has moved this way. So early evening, you're getting more stars turn up because they now are now exposed thanks to the sun moving off them. So the sun approaches, but at the other end of the cycle, 12 hours, more stars turn up at the start of a new night. And because of this, they tell you the stars are quicker than the sun. They're not considering this end of the sun. But on their spinning ball model, they probably have to stick to that idea because they're not using this flat earth model where the sun is moving around the earth like this. I could be wrong, but I haven't put my head into that. But anyway, this is how it works. The sun is quicker, definitely quicker than the stars. So this is in the morning, chewing up the stars. But at night, you're getting more stars turn up. It doesn't mean the stars are quicker than the sun. Slap yourself in the head. It's ridiculous. Understand there's only one turning rotation, one motion, and everything's going in the same direction. Just some things are quicker than others. Okay, do you understand the cycle? A monthly cycle as it creeps west. This cardioid over the month creeps. So this location here will be further around. This alignment will be further around. This new moon, full moon down here. Full moon is opposite, behind the sun. Understand that. This is the ecliptic plane, say. Black hole. New moons coming into the face of the sun here. But the sun catches up, basically. Or, the moon will be there. And then they move around together for 2.2 days or thereabouts before the moon comes out again. But when the moon starts coming out, the sun has already swung around more and raced ahead of it. So the sun's coming out way, ahead of the moon. because the light of the sun projects its energy out across the black hole. It's amplified by the black hole. I mean, it's the black hole that created the sun in the first place. You can't say the black hole's not an amplifier. Somebody once said that. Said there's definitely the amplifier. It's like a trumpet. Sun, stars, moon. Just get your head around that. Put it on freeze frame. Understand it. You know, that's the monthly cycle, but you know, it's obviously the moon's come right out here during the month, because that's the cycle, daily cycle, winds all the way out to Saturn at full moon, then starts winding all the way back in again, right into the face of the sun. We want to share this. No one would have shown this before. No one understands this. I'm the only guy. Trust me. I am the only one. There is only one who knows this sort of stuff. Even that's written. Okay? Thanks guys. Thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Or a like, I mean. And subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Start learning some real stuff.